Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking another look at the Craftsman garden tractor and the trailer. I got a few things in store for it. Alright, so changes I've already made. Obviously the deck's gone. Don't need this to be a mower anymore. This is just going to be something I use to do stuff on my acreage. I put a new battery in. The old battery was shot. So pretty simple. Previous video, worked on the carburetor, got this thing running. I've gone ahead and welded the hitch on. I added a couple of braces there. I still got some cleaning up to do and some painting to do. With the added height of the hitch, my trailer sits at too much of an angle. So I got some a little bit taller tires I'm going to try on it. So I got some ATV tires here that I'm going to try throwing on there. And I'm probably going to change this out to a 2-inch ball. A little overkill, but it's a lot easier to get on and off than that little pin setup. So I went to Harbor Freight. I got these wheels and tires. Now these are a 2-piece rim. What it allows me to do is have the bearings and such here that'll fit on the shaft of that trailer. I just kind of got it mocked up. I got both pieces of the rim. These ATV tires have 4 bolts, but they're not this bolt pattern. They're a little bit bigger. So this is the hub off of the rear wheels of that, and that'll fit all the wheels on it. So I have a plate. I'm going to trace this out and get her cut out, and I will fuse that with the plate that comes off of here to make an adapter to use these rims. So we'll see how that goes, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, I'm going to build a kind of a pattern here so I can get these holes drilled. I'm having trouble getting them centered. It's going to be pretty simple. So I measured the ATV bolt pattern at 4 by 4 1/4 inches. All I'm going to do is make a square piece with 5 holes in it, just to get the center points down. I'll probably just have like about 1/8 inch holes to keep everything lined up good, and then I'll use that to transfer over to the brackets I make. So the first thing is Fusion 360. I got a couple other videos of me making stuff. The first thing I do is I click on Origin, and that brings up this guy here as your work plane. So the first thing I need to do after I get the Origin turned on is I go to top-down view, because that's how it's going to be on the 3D printer build plate. And I just choose this plane, I right-click, and go to Create Sketch. The first thing I need to make is a rectangle. If I press R, I just go to the center point for reference. Now I gotta measure, so I need a rectangle 103 by 103. I press tab, 103. Boom, got me a rectangle. Now I'm gonna get rid of the origin. It just gets in my way. So the first thing I want to do is get a center point going here. So I come over to the right hand side sketch palette. I'm going to click on construction. I'm just going to press L from line. I'll go from the top right, bottom left. I'll go top left, bottom right. Now I have a whole space here, which will be the center point of the whole ordeal. So 4 1/4 inches is about 108 millimeters. So I'm going to do another. I'm just going to keep the construction line. I'm going to go from the center out 54 millimeters. I'll just do that on all the sides here. Not sure sure what that was. So it can get a little confusing, get all these numbers around, but basically what I've done, now I have established the bolt pattern. That's center for the studs, and then this is the center for the shaft. So, all right, now I'm going to turn off the construction and make a circle. I'll just, every single one of them is going to be 1/8 inch. So 1/8 inch is 3.175 millimeters. Got one there, another circle here, 3.175. Just going to do that for all 5 spots. Okay. So all I really need to do now is extrude this out. You just right click on the body for the sketch, I guess, and then choose how far out you want it to go. I'm just going to go 2.5 millimeters. It's not structural, so it's not a huge deal. 2.5 millimeters. Final thing I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of round off these edges a bit. Click on the edge, then I'm going to control click each of them. Okay, we're going to get this little chamfer going on here. I'll just do 10. Let's zoom out. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. That pretty much is it. I need to find a hole saw that will cut the middle hole out for the shaft, and should all be pretty good to go. So I'm going to export this to an STL and get it loaded on my printer and get it fired up. Okay, we're back. It's been a couple of days. Here's the 3D printed piece. You can see it's got the holes in there, the bolt pattern. Went ahead and cut out some squares, got them all drilled up, and welded the hubs onto them. A pair of them. I've already mocked this up. The axle that's in here is not long enough, so I went and got this piece of ball thread. It's approximately the same size. It's a little longer, so I got some hardware. I gotta push these tires out a little bit. They gotta stop about here, otherwise they hit the bracing on the trailer. I didn't really want to cut this apart because it's already flimsy enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the hubs and the wheels put together, and we'll start getting this mocked up. All right, I got them mocked up. Now, unfortunately, they're a little too tall, so they're rubbing down here. So I got to figure out something to put to raise this bracket up. Probably a good inch or two. So I got to go see what I got in the shed and hanging around that I can put in there. I'll probably just have to weld something in. Found a couple of things sitting around here. Found this channel, decent thickness that I can cut, but it's gonna raise the trailer a good 6 inches. I found this square tubing, but it's very, very thin stuff. Probably would burn through it welding to it. Not sure.
So I think what I'm going to do is cut some chunks of this out, just raise the whole thing up. I'll have to go up there too and raise that up as well. I may just go this length, just raise it like an inch or so. I'm not 100% sure. Let me think about it. When I get a plan, I'll bring it back. All right, here's the plan. I'm gonna run 2 pieces of this lengthwise. We'll go underneath that front support, and I'll run under here, and I'll lay it flat, so I'll just get the 2 inches of the lift or whatever. It should be plenty for the tires. I'm afraid if I go the full length this way of the lift, it's gonna cause my trailer to tilt, and I'm not really wanting that. So I got a whole bunch of screws I gotta take out and get some prep done and get the welder out again, and running short on daylight, so I gotta get cracking. All right, I got this all done. See how I welded these straight and welded the brackets on. For the get the spacing right, just needed 2 nuts, 2 lock washers, and I got a lock washer nut. See how she looks. All right, here we go. Got it hooked up to the tractor. Still got a bit of a lean, but that's way better than it was before. All right, back out here on the trailer. Got her flipped over. I need to tighten these down. I'm not sure. I may weld them up. I don't think I'll be taking this back apart. I got some spray paint. I'm gonna hit the welds at least. The rest of it's galvanized, so it ain't gonna rust. And then I went ahead and picked up a hitch for it, so I can use the 2-inch ball that I put on the mower there. And I got to do a little bit of fabricating. And then on the tires and rims here, I'm going to go ahead and weld these bolts in from the back. That'll allow me to just tighten them on from the front. Okay, got all these bolts tacked in, basically. Not the prettiest, but it'll hold. Now I'm going to just take the brush, get the flag off the best I can, and then I'm going to come back and spray them. All right, all my painting's done. So I got the wheels back on here. I went ahead and got a little smaller washer for the insides. The big washer was hitting this plate and it wasn't allowing the bearings to work, and I have double nutted to keep the wheels on. That should be good enough. It's not a drive wheel or a turning wheel, it's just on a wagon. So the next thing we need to do is I need to get this thing up, and I need to figure out where I need to weld the ball bracket on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off. I've got this angle here. It ain't the strongest, but this isn't like a 1-ton trailer or anything. It's all logs and yard crap around. So what I'll do is I'll mock this up where I think it looks good. I'll just chop 4 chunks out of this, then I'll weld them all together and should be good to go. All right, so I got the jack under here, just getting it kind of where it looks close, and that hitch just sits on there. Once you lock it down, it stays pretty straight. So I'm just going to grab that piece of angle and put it up here and just mark it. I'll make 4 pieces that size and cut them up, weld them on. Okay, got my pieces cut, got 4 of them. 2 of them are just on here right now with the magnets to keep them squared. So I'll go ahead and start tacking these up, and then I'll weld the hitch on after I get these on. All right, got her all welded up. You can see what I was talking about. It sits pretty good now. I want a little bit of backwards lean because this is still a tilt, and I wanted to retain that functionality. So I gotta clean all this up and shoot some spray paint over it to cover up my crappy welds. But I'm getting a little better. This still isn't anything that I'd charge anybody for, but it'll hold. It'll work out really good for around here. I am doing all this outside because I don't have a shop built. Hopefully over there, there's my shed, driveway, shed. I'm going to be building a 30 by 40 shop over here, but don't have it yet, so I got to do what I got to do. All right, that's going to wrap up this project. It's going to shoot some spray paint on it and be good to go. Moving on to the next thing. Got a couple more things planned for the tractor. One of them is the winch here. You have to see that in the next video. But thanks for sticking around and watching the video. Please consider subscribing, give her a like. It all helps. And we'll see you in the next one.